Okay, so new year, new filming equipment is what's happening here. So maybe you notice the difference, maybe you don't, I'm not sure. But this is my third time filming this video because the last two had no sound. So if this one has no sound, you guys are just gonna have to learn how to lip read, and that will be your goal and job for 2019. Because what the frickin' heck, I don't know what's happening here. Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my Best of Beauty Awards for 2018. Now it's 2019, I'm sure you've heard. But before we get on into the new year with all the new products, I wanted to run down my favorite products from the past year. There are a lot. And like I said, this is my third time filming this video, so we're not going to do a long intro. We want to get into the goods. You guys want to see what the award-winning products are, so we're just going to get started. I'm going to start off with primers, go to face stuff, eye stuff, lips, and then that'll be it. So let's get it cracking. Nobody says get it cracking. Why am I saying that? First up is primer, and like for a lot of these products that I'm going to mention, I tried a lot throughout the year, obviously some in the middle of the year, some in the beginning, some at the end. So I'm just gonna go with the product that I used the most and liked the most. So now onto primer. This is the primer that I use the most and like the most. I think it's a great primer. Everybody talks about it. It is the TATCHA Silk Canvas Primer. It really does make your skin look like silk. It makes your skin look poreless, it mattifies, it makes your makeup wear beautifully, it makes it wear longer. It just is a great primer. It is more expensive, but it has really good ingredients for your skin, and it has some anti-aging properties as well, so I think it's worth it. At first, I was a little bit skeptical about the texture because it is like more of like a balm consistency, but the more that you use it, the more you get used to it, and you will slowly love it. Like everybody loves this product, and for good reason, because it's a great primer. So if you guys have not picked this up yet, definitely try it out because it is as good as everybody says. Next, we have a few foundations. I have three I wanted to mention. So the first one is a drugstore foundation, and I used this a lot during the summer and when I was in like hot and humid temperatures, and it wore so well for me. So I had to mention it. It's the COVERGIRL True Blend Matte Made Foundation. This foundation came out this year and I really do like it. So it is a matte foundation, but it's not too matte and it's not uncomfortable to wear. It's not super thick. It's medium to full, kind of like buildable coverage. I just really love the finish of this. It's not too matte. It's more of like a satin matte, and it wears very well throughout the day. On me personally, I have normal to combination skin, and I just love how it wears. I really wanted to mention this for a drugstore option because it's new this year and I think it was really great. And I am in the shade T30, which is Warm Honey, and they also have a lot of shades for that, which is amazing. Next is a more full coverage foundation. This one is a little bit of a thicker consistency, but your skin will look amazing in this. This is the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. I'm wearing this today. This is the shade Barcelona, which is like my natural, I don't know why I'm doing that. This is my natural skin tone shade, and when I'm more tan, I use the shade Aruba. And this just makes your skin look absolutely flawless. It looks radiant, but it's also kind of matte at the same time, and it just is so good. It looks beautiful in pictures, and it's just a really great foundation overall. So if you have not tried this out, definitely pick it up. It's really, really gorgeous. And if you want a little bit more coverage, definitely check this one out because it gives you just a beautiful, like flawless airbrush look. And then the last one is probably my favorite of this year, and it is the most expensive, but I'm not on the PR list for this one. This one I bought with my own money. So this is the DIOR Backstage Face and Body Foundation. Obviously it is like a luxury product, so it's more expensive, but it won my heart. I've never tried any other face and body foundations from other brands, but this one just blew me away. It has like the thinnest, like liquidiest consistency. It's like a water-based foundation, and it just looks so skin-like. Like it just melts into the skin. You can layer it up for more coverage, and I just feel like it feels beautiful, it looks beautiful, and I'm obsessed. It wears well, it's waterproof, it's just a really great foundation. So if you guys have not checked this out, definitely pick it up. I also love the color of this one. This is for Warm Olive, which is my tan shade. 3 Warm Olive is my not tan shade, and I love that Dior did some olive undertones in a bunch of their foundations. If you guys are looking for olive toned and you want to try this out, definitely pick it up because it's worth the money. It's worth it. Next, moving on to concealer. As 2018 went on, I really just started saying goodbye to my Tarte Shape Tape, which I didn't really think was gonna happen, but as soon as I tried this one, I was just like, wow, this is it. So Tarte Shape Tape, I always want to say Shart, and then it's awkward. Tarte Shape Tape, it's great, but I felt like it was kind of making my under eyes look a little bit drier than I liked, and it was like a little bit thick for every day. So I tried this one this year, the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and I have been in love ever since. It provides really great coverage, but the consistency is lighter. It's more hydrating, but that doesn't mean greasy or anything like that. It just feels better on the skin, it blends like a dream, and I'm obsessed. I use the shade Golden Beige, and I just think it's a great, great concealer. So if you ever found that Shape Tape was like a little bit too thick or drying or cakey on you, definitely pick up the Too Faced Sculpting Concealer because it's so good. I did not like the regular Born This Way concealer. That one I feel like didn't have much coverage, but this one covers beautifully. Then I have a drugstore concealer I wanted to mention. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. I am in the shade Light Medium for this one, and I definitely would say this is my favorite drugstore concealer. It has really great coverage. It's medium to full coverage, and it blends really nicely. I will say though, when you use this, don't let it sit on your skin for too long because then it will be a little bit more tricky to blend out. So you don't need to let it sit on your skin for more coverage. You can just blend it right away and the coverage is there. It's not thick, it's not cakey, it's not drying. It just looks really, really nice. So if you haven't picked this up from the drugstore, it's a good one, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about this. So next, moving on to powder. I tried a lot of loose setting powders this year, but this one was one of my favorites. Like 2 weeks ago, I tried one that blew me out of the water, but I'm not going to put it in this video because I literally tried it 2 weeks ago. But this one's super good too. This is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This is so good. It's very finely milled. It makes your skin look very soft and poreless and airbrush, that kind of look. It is matte without being too matte. Like some powders can be too flat and matte. This one isn't like that. This one is really nice. I also really love the packaging. When you take it out, you never have 45 pounds of powder just sitting there waiting for you. A lot of powders are like that, and I feel like it's very wasteful and just messy, but this one always just has like the perfect amount just in there in the cap. So I really like that, and the powder itself is gorgeous. So I had to mention that. Then another powder I wanted to mention is a finishing powder. I believe I mentioned this last year, but it's just such a beautiful powder. This is the Laura Mercier CANDLEGLOW Sheer Perfecting Powder. So this is like a finishing powder. I apply this when I'm pretty much done with my makeup. I'll just take a fluffy brush and just kind of buff it all over. And it just makes your makeup look so seamless. Like there isn't like any like lines of from bronzer, blush, highlight, whatever's going on. It just makes everything seamless and just have this lit from within glow that I'm obsessed with. I think it's just really pretty. I have the shade 3, but it doesn't give off a lot of color, so I guess it's not really that big of a deal what shade you use. Obviously, you don't want to use a super dark shade, but it doesn't give off like a lot of color. Like if you like swipe your finger on it, like you're not seeing like a ton of color payoff. But that's not what it's for. It's just kind of like a finishing powder to make you look amazing, and that's what it does for me. So I had to mention that. And then really quickly, I wanted to mention this powder. I don't think I've ever even talked about this in a video, but I kind of just keep it on my vanity if I ever just need to touch anything up super quick. And this is the JCAT Beauty AQUASURANCE Compact Foundation. So it's just a pressed powder, and I know I haven't really ever talked about it, but I just keep it on my table just if I need to do any touch-ups, and it looks really nice. So I thought I would mention that in here. I don't wear it as a foundation, but if I ever feel like I need to touch something up or add more coverage for any reason, I use this, and this is in the shade Soft Tan. So next up is bronzer, and you guys know I love my bronzeness. So this is the Marc Jacobs Coconut fantastic bronzer. It's this huge bronzer. I love the packaging. It's very sleek and it doesn't actually get as dirty as you would think. And the color of this is really nice. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, it's not too dark, it's not too light, so it's perfect for like all over. It's very natural looking. It blends beautifully. It smells like a coconut, beautiful vacation. And I don't know, it reminds me of like Benefit Hoola, but bigger and better. And I don't know, it's not too warm that you can't contour with it, but it's not too cool that you can't bronze all over with it. It's just like the perfect bronzer, and I really like it. So that's a good one. And then another one that I wanted to mention, this has basically replaced my Laura Mercier Baked Matte Radiance Powder in bronze number 4, which I've talked about so many times. This is basically like a dupe for it. It's like almost exactly the same, but way cheaper. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Deep Bronze. I just love it. It has like a little bit of shimmer like looking in the pan, but it doesn't like translate to the skin. It just gives you this beautiful bronze finish. You can, again, contour with it if you want. I don't really do a separate contour and then a bronzer. I just contour with my bronzer, and that's just what I do with my life. So this is a really great one, and this one also smells like you're at the beach. So love those two. Next, I'm gonna move on to blush, and my number 1 blush is also like the number 1 in America, so whatever. I just love it, and everyone else does too. It's the NARS Orgasm. It's a cult favorite. I feel like it looks good on everybody. It's just that perfect pinky peach with a little bit of shimmer, and it just makes you have that perfect flush look. I'm wearing it today. It looks beautiful every single time, and I just love it. It's never chalky or like chunky. It just looks good. I don't know. I've tried so many like dupes of this, and this just always is my favorite. So love that. And this is the bigger size one, so I won't be hitting pan on this anytime soon. And you guys know how heavy I am with my blush. That's gonna last me a while. And then I also wanted to mention this blush palette from Pure. This is their blush book. So it is a palette of 4 blushes, and they're kind of like mosaic. And I wanted to mention this because it's nice to have options. These are more natural. I know they don't really look super natural on camera, but they're just beautiful. Add that like pop of pink to your cheeks. This one's a little bit extra. I can only wear that when I'm super tan. And then this one, this is the color for vacation, summer. It just makes you look amazing. It's so, so, so pretty. So I wanted to mention this palette because I used it a lot, especially for that one and this one, and I just am obsessed with it. And again, the formula of those are very nice, not chalky or anything. All right, now moving on to highlighters. So this one, I believe I said this in the past, this is the one I reach for when I don't even want to think about it. Like, I know this one is going to deliver. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome Molten Gold. I just love it. It gives you that metallic, wet look, and the color of it is just perfect. It's not too gold, it's not too white, it just is absolutely gorgeous, and it's just one of my all-time favorites. So I had to mention that, and it's cheap. It's just, you can't go wrong with that one. And then another one I wanted to mention, this is the one I'm actually wearing today. I think this is better if you are more fair-skinned or you prefer like more of like a white toned highlighter. This is BECCA Opal, which is another kind of cult favorite, and it's just so beautiful. You can get this one to give you that wet look if you want, or you can make it more subtle, and it's just so pretty. And then another one from BECCA that I used a lot this year, especially during the summer or when I was super tan, is this one from BECCA. It's the Royal Glow Illuminator, and as you can see, this one's a little bit more bronzy gold, and it's just so pretty. It's not like so bold, it just gives you a beautiful bronze glow, which I'm all for that. All about the bronze. So I wanted to mention that, and I think it's still available. I'm not 100% sure. I know it came out like during the royal wedding, so I'm not positive, but if it's not available, just go with the Maybelline. So next up, I wanted to mention 2 setting sprays. One is actually a priming / setting spray. So first is the Bobbi Brown Primer Plus Hydrating 3-in-1 spray. This one is so good. You can apply this as a primer or a setting spray or just kind of like a refresher. I love the smell of this. It just smells very clean and fresh, and it adds a little bit of extra hydration. My skin has been super dry and flaky recently, so this I just love applying to my face before I apply foundation, and then as a setting spray as well. This one's really good. And then the other one, of course, is my holy grail of setting sprays, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is just the best setting spray of life. It's just so good. Don't even waste your time with the other ones. This one is just the best. If you really want to lock and load your makeup, use this one. I once read that strippers use this, and if it can work for a stripper, working the pole all night, you know, they do a lot of crazy exercising things. They're very strong, and I mean, I wouldn't really recommend being a stripper, but I like the setting spray. And if it's endorsed by somebody who has to be doing all that, I don't know where I'm going with this. Just try it. It makes your makeup look good. It gets rid of the powdery effect, and it makes it last forever and just look better, longer. I don't know where I was going with the stripper thing. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what's happening here. Then before I move on to eye stuff, I wanted to quickly mention 2 face brushes that are my life. So first is the Tarte Bamboo Buffer Brush. I think it's called something like that. This is the best foundation brush ever. I have so many. I have like 5 of these. They're so freaking good. This is the best foundation brush ever, period. It's so big. It just cuts the time in half, blends like a dream, and it's just the best. So you have to get it. That's it. You have to get it. Then the other brush that I love is the one that came out with the Hourglass Veil powder. This is the Hourglass brush. I don't know if it's called something, but it's the best little brush for doing your under eye, getting all these areas with powder, and then the other side is perfect for like all over powdering, and it's just so soft, doesn't shed, and it's amazing. And I know it's a little bit pricey, but it's worth it because it's 2 brushes in one, you know? 2 in 1, lots of fun. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to brows. So first I wanted to mention the brow pencil I use. This is my everyday brow pencil. I always grab for this. This is the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. I use the shade either honey brown or sometimes I use soft brown. Either one works for me. But the tip of this is very similar to like the Anastasia brow pencil or the Benefit Precisely My Brow. It just has a very fine tip that makes your brows look super natural, and it doesn't like smudge or anything like that. So I love this. Use it every single day. And then I always set it with my Benefit Gimme Brow, and this is in the shade 4.5. I've used it a lot. The label is like rubbed off, but I almost always put it on after I do my brow pencil just because it keeps my hairs in place and adds just a little tint of color. I don't really like the clear ones. I feel like they just make my brows look crusty and flaky, so Gimme Brow is my go-to for brows. Then I wanted to mention 2 liners. I have the Urban Decay 24/7 liners. I have this in so many colors. I use them all the time. They're very long wearing, very pigmented, easy to smudge out if you want to smudge them, or they don't smudge if you don't want to smudge them. So I use Hustle a lot. I use Bourbon. I use Zero. I have Zero on my eyes smudged out today, and they're just the best. So I wanted to mention those. And then the liquid liner that I have been loving is the IT Cosmetics Superhero Liner. This is just the best liner. I love the shape of it. It's just very easy to hold on to. I think it's like ergonomical or whatever. And it never like skips or tugs. It's very black. It doesn't fade away. Like, it's almost annoying like how long wearing this is because it's a little bit more effort to remove it, but that's okay because if I'm putting my energy into doing a wing, I can't be having it flake and fade away on me. Not having that. So just get this one. Then I have a few mascaras I wanted to mention. First of all, this is my holy grail, and I either apply this before like a lot of mascaras or after. I keep one in my purse and do touch-ups and all that with it, and this is the Benefit Roller Lash. I just love this. The brush just grabs every single lash and just lifts it up. It's like a push-up bra for your lashes, and it just grabs every single little tiny one, which I love. I don't really like to use this on its own because it's not like volumizing enough for me. So ones that I like for volume this year have been the Hourglass Caution Mascara. It's very thickening, very black, lengthening, all of that stuff. And then this one is a drugstore one that I love. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise, which is very similar to like the Too Faced Better Than Sex one. It's also pretty relatable, not relatable, comparable to the Lancome Monsieur Big, which I love. So I actually have all three of these on my eyes today because I just can't stop applying mascara. I have a sick problem. I just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Especially when I had to refilm this video several times, I just kept adding more every single time I had to refilm. So that's that. Now moving on to eyeshadow palettes. I have one that I wanted to briefly talk about that's no longer available, but I used it for a very long time. That was the Tarte Aspen Ovard palette. Loved that one. These two will give you similar colors. So these are still available and they're amazing. So they are both from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I just love her eyeshadow palettes. I love her formulas. I just think they blend so well, so pigmented, and they're just my favorites. So first is the Norvina palette, which is more of like a warm, neutral, everyday kind of palette. It has some like fun colors in there, like the purples, but it has beautiful golden bronzies and a little bit of burgundy, so it's like a really great palette just to have. Like this is kind of like my everyday palette recently. And then the other one came out later this year, and ever since it came out, like I've been obsessed. I've been using it nonstop, like in the fall and winter. And this is the Sultry palette. I've used this in a few videos, and again, it's a neutral palette, but it's more cooler tones. So if you're trying to get into cooler tones, baby steps, go with this palette. You will love it. It's so pigmented. I know this is still a bronzy color, but I love Cinder so much. Cinder, Teak. This Ember color is a gorgeous olive. It's just a really, really pretty palette. So those are my two must-have palettes of the year. Then I wanted to quickly mention an eyeshadow brush because I use this in every single makeup tutorial ever, and you guys always ask. This is the Real Techniques Multitask Eye Brush, and it is a very multitasking brush. I could use this in my crease, I could go under here, I could blend, I could do whatever I want with this brush. If I could only pick one eyeshadow brush, I would pick this one, and it's affordable. It's super cheap. You can get it at a drugstore, Target, Walmart, wherever, and it's super good. I love it. I have a few backups and it just never fails me. So yeah, multitask eye brush from Real Techniques. Also, while we're on the eyes, I quickly wanted to mention these eye drops. These are the Bausch & Lomb Lumify eye drops. They are redness getter outer drops. They make your eyes super duper white. Get these, you'll love them. Way better than any other like Visine or Clear Eyes. Those, when they wear away, I feel like the redness comes back worse and just dries out your eyes. This has a different ingredient that doesn't do that, and they're amazing. I'm literally addicted to these. So I'm not being paid to say that. Some people were getting paid to say that, and I'm just like, I wish that was me, but it's not. So I'm just going to tell you about it anyway for free. These are super good to get them. Then lastly, we're going to talk about lips, and it's not going to be super exciting because I pretty much only ever wear nudes, and they're pretty much always the same two ones all year. So anyways, first is the lip liner, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Cheat Lip Liner. A lot of people love Pillow Talk. That one's more pinky. This one's more of a brown tone, and it just makes your lips looks so full. It wears all day, and I just love it. This pairs well with pretty much any lipstick, but the ones I use the most are both from Tarte. They're from the Color Splash line. They're hydrating, but they're not like too glossy or too matte, and I just am obsessed. So the first one, which is a lighter shade, is Rum Punch. I just love it so much. And then the darker shade that has been like my fall and winter color that I wear literally all the time. If you're wondering what color is on my lips, it's usually one of these two. But during this time of the year, it's been Siesta, which is here. So there are the two together with the lip liner. These are just what's always on my mouth. This is it. So I love those. And if they ever discontinue these, I'm going to have to protest. So that is going to wrap up the favorites. I didn't include any hair products because honestly, I'm not like a hair product person. I don't like put like anything in my hair. And I'm always like trying new shampoos and stuff, so it's not like, I don't know. I'm not the person to go to for hair things. Especially ever since I got my extensions, I don't put like anything in it at all really. So yeah, there's no real hair products in here. And if you're looking for skincare, I just did one in November, and all those products are my favorites because I use them pretty much the whole entire year and nothing has changed since then really. So if you're looking for skincare, go to that video. I didn't want to just reiterate every single product from that video that I just did. So I hope you understand. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if any of these are your favorites, or let me know what your #1 product from 2018 was. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll love it. Maybe we can, you know, make a connection, you know, connect on a different level. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm saying at this point. So I'm going to wrap up this video. Have a great 2019. I hope all your dreams come true and you have so much fun and you do great things. And yeah, now I'm going to stop talking and I will see you guys in my next video.
If anybody tells me I look like Sammy freaking Sweetheart from Jersey Shore just because my hair is straight and brown, I'm done. I'm done with you. Oh my god, she does that too! She does that too! She's like this. Done with you. Okay, maybe. Okay, I can kind of see it. Okay. Alright, never mind. I was gonna go off. But for real, please don't. That's not the energy I want to bring into 2019. You know? Stop. Ron, stop!